why do you want to learn this? Something
So
which I
I
can.
am, I am working in the ECP in a ECP project. I am also I started with SAP HCM, OMPA, payroll, and all of that, and slowly I got
Mhm.
certified with EC and ECP, and now I'm working as a ECP consultant for about a year. So
Okay.
in my project, I did not have any visibility with this PCC and all of that, since it is a support project. But now we
Okay.
are getting some issues with PCC, or integration issues are there mostly. But the master data integration is done with ABAP. I mean, P2P integration is there. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
other integrations, we have CPI as a middleware.
Okay. Okay. So basically,
Yeah.
it's a classic ECP payroll implementation where you are doing employee data which we have to replicate using P2P, and there are
Yes.
some third-party integrations through which you are using CPI and moving the data from our SFTP to vendor SFTP via CPI. Mostly payroll interfaces, I'm thinking.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so this is a classic scenario where you have post payroll interfaces where you send the data from ECP to other vendors, and
Yeah.
as you know, the employee data will be sourced. The source system will be always employee central. So you have to
Yes.
enable the P2P, which is a point-to-point replication to move the employee data from EC to ECP for running
Yes.
payroll. Basically, we need only the data which is used for running the payroll. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
the
till now,
master
yeah.
data replication, time absence, all of that are done by P2P.
Yes. Okay.
Other than that, all the interfaces, all the daily jobs, and all of
Mhm.
it, all the integrations, all of it is managed by CPI.
Oh yeah, CPI is the middleware, but you still have to run an ABAP program to trigger SFTP, and then CPI will encrypt the data and send it to your vendor SFTP. So CPI basically is a middleware, but the source
Uh-huh.
of that payroll data is still ECP, right? When you run
Yes.
the
Yes.
deductions or you have to send it to the vendors, right? So that is your ECP
Correct.
would be the
Correct.
data which you will be sending. Okay.
Monthly reports or something that we
Yeah.
send to the government or to any third party system, and all the finance data going to
Mhm.
another system after posting, all of it is managed by CPI.
Okay, that's a classic implementation. So when we go for an ECP implementation, we first analyze the workbook, basically your application workbook, and then you analyze the integrations which we have to move the data from ECP to other vendors. So it's a classic setup. So may I know which country payroll are you in? Like
UK.
it's a UK. Okay. So it's an April to March, I
Yeah,
think.
April to March
Financial year.
cycle. Yeah.
Okay, similar to our Indian payroll. So,
Yes.
so till now, I think you might be aware of the payroll, how to run the payroll, and then you exit the payroll, and then
Yes, yeah,
you
control
you
center, all
post.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So all that task, you have a set of transactions, right? So I'll start from there since it will be easier for you to understand. So, for example, a typical payroll run would be like first you will simulate the payroll,
Yeah.
and then you would run this payroll and then take care of the errors. It could be a lot of errors related to address, it could be
Alerts
tax
and all of
and
that.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then you will try to resolve this issue by going to wage type reporter and consolidating, and then you will try to run the main payroll by exiting the payroll control record. Then once you exit the payroll, then you would go for bank transfers and then the posting.
Posting. Yeah.
Yeah. So all these things, all this you will be doing in a set of transactions, right? You will go RP calc, maybe K0 or whatever the UK payroll is. Then you will be doing a RPCIP00, and then you will be doing a DME process, which is for your bank transfers. All this set of transactions. What if I tell you that everything can be done by payroll control center?
Yeah, through a
That
single
is
click, it happens from front
yes.
end. Yeah.
Exactly. So what we do is the payroll control center is actually more of a UI an application, a UI
Mm-hmm.
application where the user doesn't need to remember all those transactions. Like they don't need to go to posting programs. They don't have to go for that bank transfer programs or the payroll driver program. So what payroll control center does is it automates those steps. It automates like
Ah,
what you need to do one after other. It is more similar to your process model if you're aware of.
yeah, yes.
PUST and PEST. That is the process model where you have a set of series of steps we need to run after you run the payroll, basically.
Yeah.
So
Actually, we
payroll
don't
control,
have to alter the control center also. It does by itself, right? Yeah.
yes, that is right. So what payroll control center, what is the main advantage of payroll control center is you can identify the issues even before you run the live payroll. So it is
Okay.
not simulation. It is not simulation, but what it does is it let's say I have a classic scenario of let's say I have exited the last period of 2023, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which is December. Mostly it will be a
Okay.
monthly payroll for UK if I don't
Yes,
I'm,
yes. Yeah.
it's a
December.
monthly payroll, so your
Yeah,
December
monthly payroll.
31st,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So December 31st is your last day of payroll run, and then the first pay period would be from January 1st, Monday or 4th of Jan, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
what happens is when you exit the 31st or the last payroll period of 2023, you have
Mm-hmm.
zero visibility what would happen in first period of 2024, right? Until you run the simulation of
Simulation.
2024,
Correct. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But in case of PCC, if you implement PCC, you would be able to get that insight right before you run the simulation or you try to run the payroll for first period of 2024.
Oh,
So
is it?
immediately when,
Mm.
yes, yes. So immediately once you exit the December payroll, you can start
Mm-hmm.
running payroll control center. It won't update the cluster. It won't update the cluster, but you will still get the complete overview or complete sight of your what would happen in your 2024 payroll. So that is the
Okay.
biggest advantage of payroll control center that you will be
But
getting.
normally also in PC, in normal on-prem also, you can run the simulation, right? You
Yes,
can,
agreed.
yeah,
That's a question everyone asks, and why there is a difference between payroll control center and your simulation. So in simulation, if I have one scenario, I'll take one scenario. Okay, I got my
mm-hmm.
gross this time as $1,000 or £1,000. Okay,
Okay,
and in the next period, I will be getting £1,200.
okay.
Let's say now in simulation, how easy is to find out that why I got this $200? It's not so easy,
We,
right? You have to go
yeah,
and
we
run the
have to
report.
go, yeah, run the
Yeah,
pay slip, run, analyze the logs and all of that. Yeah,
yeah. But in PCC, that won't be an issue because what will come to that point where I will explain you in detail why PCC is different from your simulation, because simulation runs are not stored anywhere inside your SAP
yeah,
or ECP
in
anywhere. It
cluster.
is just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's just a structure where you run it and you find out and you run revenge type reporter and then you try to find out into a series of different tasks in Excel or maybe outside of ACP or to find out why this guy got £200 extra. But
Yeah.
payroll control center, what it does, it uses a concept called declustering. If you have heard this
Okay.
uh, term, it's called
Mhm.
declustering. Now, what is declustering? You know, right? All the payroll is stored in your PCL2 cluster,
Yes.
right? All your payrolls are considered into PCL2 cluster, and from cluster you have to extract using certain reports, certain program. You have to extract what is the pay of that person and all that. But with declustered tables, you can directly view in the table all the wage types, the amounts, the CRT, the TCRT, the RT, everything. You don't have
Okay.
to go into each cluster to find out that. Plus, the main advantage of payroll control center is you can store these results in declustered tables without disturbing your production run.
Oh, in the simulation only.
Yes, yes. That is the main advantage of payroll control center, that
Okay, that
it
PD
uses
to CL we will get only after the live run, but here
yes,
before
yes.
the
But
live
in
run
this case,
only.
you will get a but in this case, you will get that ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
That is the main. benefit or advantage which why we use payroll control center, why we advise people, or why SAP tells clients to use payroll control center as a go-to payroll processing application.
But when now in my live system, I go and see under PC underscore pay result. I don't see any cluster for live
Yes,
run. I mean for simulation runs.
yes, that is not visible there. That is not visible there.
Oh, okay.
So the payroll control center has a set of different declustered tables. Basically, you can run a
Okay.
report on that also, but it is not
Okay.
having a similar dashboard like live run. You cannot see in PC
Okay.
pay result, but you can see the tables behind it.
Okay.
So I'll tell you the tables also how we will go through in the course how to configure and everything. And second thing
Okay.
is it can be easily integrated into EC Employee Central also.
Okay.
It's very easy to integrate payroll control center into EC. If it's a full cloud, like you have EC and ECC, then it's a success factor solution, right? So with this setup, you can directly integrate payroll control center in EC itself.
Okay. Okay.
Not only you can run the simulation or the what we call it's not called as simulation in payroll control center. We call it as a team monitoring process or a monitoring process. Why we call it as a monitoring is we are trying to monitor the upcoming payroll ahead of time. You're not waiting
Okay.
till the last date, waiting till the last date to have issues and then we have less time to resolve it, right? So we are not uh, uh, waiting for that issue or a defect to happen. We are resolving them before the live run itself.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So now how does SAP and how does PCC know that what kind of issues will come and all that? How do we do that? Is using the alerts. I think you already know what is alerts if you're uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
voting, right? So alerts is a means of setting the KPI or the parameter for a payroll system. When you run payroll, you will get certain issues, right? Like your WBBP is not correct, or your 207, or like some taxation info tab is not correct, or if step 6 is not present, because of which payroll cannot run. All these sorts of issues, and then it could be something like gross is zero, or something like divided by zero. Some all these kinds of issues will come when you run payroll, right?
Some error if we come. Yes. Yes. If we get. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all this can be sorted out in one shot before the live run itself,
Okay.
and you don't have to go to different reports or different applications to find out the root cause of it. So the alerts is a means of you know centralizing all these issues at one stage itself.
Oh. Okay.
So that is why we say payroll control center helps the companies. Actually, the whole payroll process is made with transparency. And the second biggest problem with payroll is to manage or to coordinate with different departments, right?
Okay.
Let's say, let's say you have a problem with your gross income, which is indirectly associated with your time. Like a
Okay.
person did not get time sheets correctly filled in within time, and the payroll ran, then you will not get paid. But you have to coordinate
Correct.
with the compensation team or the time team that why you didn't get the payroll and all that stuff, right? But in payroll control center, every department will be in one dashboard.
Okay.
So you don't
Okay.
have to follow up separately. They will be, it is more likely a ticketing tool. So
Okay. Okay.
it's more of a ticketing tool. And then you can assign tickets to different departments and just 1 second,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
No
So
problem.
basically, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm able to. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, to coordinate with different departments is also a headache, right? So you have to coordinate with HR team, payroll team, compensation team, time team, or deduct. All these sorts of teams are very difficult to, you have to mail them that this person got less pay, and we have to add some hours to him to run payroll, and all this is a headache. So payroll control center will bring all those teams into a single place. So you don't
Oh,
have to follow up with them. You just have to assign them the ticket, and they will have to resolve this in time. So you are
oh,
actually making it more transparent for a payroll manager to coordinate with the teams also.
okay.
So your running time or processing of payroll will drastically reduce because of this efficiency and bringing all the teams into one place.
Okay.
That is the
Yeah.
main
Okay.
advantage of this
Yeah.
payroll control center. And second thing is, it is a very intuitive or a user intuitive application. So you don't have to explain them a lot how to run all this. It's just a series of some UI steps which we need to take care, and they will easily
Okay.
understand. Anybody can be like, any user can easily run this.
Okay.
And plus the payroll manager will get real-time updates. So generally what happens is payroll manager will not know what's happening in one area, or what is like time team doing, or compensation, whether the issues are getting resolved or not. He doesn't have that visibility. uh, so payroll control center brings that visibility. He can directly ask that particular team why it did not get resolved, because he knows what is happening in the payroll from day one.
Okay.
So those are the biggest advantages why we implement the payroll control center. So it streamlines your payroll process, and it allows your team to be on the same page. All the teams will be on same page. You can easily take control of your whole payroll process in one shot.
Okay.
That is the main. And how does it payroll control center does it is because of the declustering, because we don't have results earlier. They had issues, right? We can simulate and we can check, but in payroll control center it stores those results, and that results are used to, find out the issues and resolve it as well. Okay.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
clear
oh,
with
so
this.
much is there. Yeah.
So it's a very beautiful tool. We will go through once we are in that course. We will go through the each and every step in that tool. It's a very intuitive and a very beautiful tool which SAP has built to
Okay.
streamline this payroll process. Okay. So what does payroll control center does? So first thing, it's also validates the employee master data. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you have a P2P replication. I'll take a scenario. Let's say you replicated 100 employees,
Okay.
out of which 90 employees got his address updated, but 10 employees did not get it updated.
Okay.
So how will you find out those? There is a log, but you have to go into each
Report.
log and see,
Huh.
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, correct.
here you can just build an alert, right? You can just build an alert saying that employee is missing address information. You can put an alert. Then what will happen
Oh,
is it will see what employees doesn't have address, and it will tell you, okay, your 10 employees doesn't have the address, and it will also give you the replication log in that.
okay. Okay.
So you don't have to go in SLG1 or your replication status report to find for each employee and see what is the root cause.
Oh, okay.
You can directly get in the dashboard itself.
Oh, great.
That is one. So the employee master data, you can build any number of alerts. You can customize the any number of alerts. SAP gives an RDS alerts, like it gives around 35 alerts as a sample implementation as a part of RDS. But you
Okay.
yourself can build lot of alerts.
Okay.
Yeah. Second thing is the payroll results, which is the most toughest. Like okay, master data means someone missing some important info type can easily be
Haha.
built. But for payroll results, let's say you have someone like whose pay is zero. So if you are running a person and his pay is coming as zero, to
Haha.
find out why his pay is coming as zero, it is a very big challenge,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You have to see if that person is has got arrears, or a person did not fill time sheet. There could be n number of things.
Loss of pay.
It,
Okay, yeah.
loss of pay, it could be retro, something he got overpaid and then we are trying to
Huh.
deduct from this payroll. All this stuff is related to payroll results.
Yeah.
So those type of alerts we need to build, and then we can build in a way that it will tell you what is the reason behind it also.
Okay.
Simple ones can be built. So the new tool, I'll tell you within the course how it runs. But the complex
Okay.
ones we'll need to build as a program or a
Okay.
class, basically. So basically, you are actually trying to resolve issues related to employees and payroll results, both in payroll control centers. So when you
Okay.
resolve them before time, then you will have a smoother payroll. You know issues beforehand only.
Okay.
So that is the foremost benefit of a payroll control center is that you will know that issues beforehand before running the productive payroll. So all in the productive payroll is you just have to just tick 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 and then you can run directly the payroll process without even, since you have already
Okay.
rectified those issues before.
Yeah. So all these will be very easy for user usage, right? Product user,
Yes,
yeah, end user usage. It will be very easy. Okay.
correct. But to build an alert, we need to have a certain level of technical know-how.
Knowledge. Okay.
Yes. To build these alerts, we need some technical know-how also. You need an ABAPer also. You need a
Okay.
functional as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes, since it has a both set of configuration, like a technical configuration and a functional configuration as well.
Oh, okay.
That is the reason, like they can build simple alerts, but the underlining foundation has to be built by the technical person only.
Oh, okay.
So the users can execute and see the results and reasons and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
the foundation to build that alert, we need certain knowledge technically as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing is advantage is the team distribution. So
Okay.
let's say employee master data. So this ideally should go to HR team, right? Because it pertains to the master data or the employee data.
Huh. Yes.
It could be that a person is hired and his bank details are not maintained in EC. Then that
Mm-hmm.
person will not have a bank detail, and that will come. That has to be assigned to the HR team. The payroll team will not look into it because it's not relevant to them,
Yeah.
right? So the master data
Yes.
goes to HR team. So what it does is automatically distributes issues based on the policies. Now there is a term called policies.
Okay.
Policies in the sense is you are grouping them based on the alerts. Let's say you have a master data alert. So what you are doing is grouping all the master data alerts into one policy, and I will term that as a master data policy. And all these policies will be assigned to a HR team.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
basically, you are grouping them based on the module.
Okay.
So your payroll team will not be concerned about what is the employee's data maintained, right? They are only concerned about the results.
Okay.
They are not concerned about if the person is not maintaining his bank account or address or something. He is only concerned why did payroll did not run for this employee. So we can group these alerts into one single policy for HR, for payroll, one for compensation, one for time. So you can define any number of teams within your payroll control center so that these alerts will go to the respective person. It will not go to someone who is not supposed to answer that.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that, right? You have like in a dashboard, the payroll manager, what he will see is, okay, my time team has 60 alerts, my HR team has 20 alerts, my payroll team has 20 alerts, and
Uh-huh.
his work is to follow up with them on the dashboard.
Okay.
That's it. You don't have to know why this person, how many alerts, everything is visible, everything is transparent.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing is solving of issues. Let's say, for example, employee master data. If somebody is missing info type 6, what will the user do?
User will raise a ticket, right?
Yes. So here ticketing itself is payroll control center. So if I'm saying that a person is missing address, so what I'll do is I'll give the solution as a EC portlet, address portlet to maintain for him, right?
Yeah.
That can be done from payroll control center.
Oh, okay. The
So what
ticketing.
I'll do is, yeah, go ahead, please. So what I'll do is I will assign this. So the solution for this alert will be actually maintenance of address portlet in EC. So
Okay.
I'll simply give that as a solution, as a link. So you don't have to go to EC separately to maintain this. See, from directly from PCC, that link will be provided, and if he clicks on that link, it will directly take him to that for that employee's address portlet where you can maintain the address.
This will be done by the user, right? Not, I mean, the
Yes,
head,
user.
not
Yeah,
the
the
agent
HR person.
itself.
Yes, yes. The HR person has to follow, but he will. You don't have to like give him the link. The user, so the HR person can directly click on the link, ask for that employee that what his address is, and he can directly maintain that address, and the replication immediately will replicate that data automatically every 5 minutes if you have scheduled that job. And there is another mechanism in payroll control center is automatic auto resolution means what happens is if there is any change of data in ECP, it automatically runs that alert. Let's say I have added that address in the link or the EC portlet, and that person got replicated also. Immediately, payroll control center will know that that person has been updated, and that automatically that error will go down from 60 to 59.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to go and again replicate and see all that crap.
Oh, okay.
Everything will get automatically, because there is a something called inside the payroll control center, it's called an event listener.
Okay.
So what is event listener is nothing but it detects automatic changes which is happening to the data every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes, or whatever say frequency you can mention. It's like
Okay.
change of records, or like let's say you change some data, then immediately it will okay, there is an alert for this data, and I have to run have to check whether this person has any alert related to this data, and it will automatically resolve that alert.
Okay. And if the
He will
address,
come.
then it will be like our the query is resolved and the alert will be gone.
Yeah, alert will be gone. So from 60 it will become 59 if you have resolved that
Oh, okay.
automatically. It doesn't have any manual intervention. So only thing we have to do is if the person gets updates the data in address portlet, automatically your P2P will run every 5 minutes, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So many things
Then
are
what it
there.
will do is it will replicate again. This person,
I
it will be replicated.
the payroll running, they just do it from the front end. Other end, they will just do it manually, like they do for on time. Okay.
Yeah, something
Many
like
things.
that.
Okay. Okay.
So you don't have to follow up with anyone. Like everything is automated. Once you click on that address portlet, you whatever the employee gives you address, you can maintain it, automatically save it in EC. Once the data is available, replication will see that is a change occurred in EC, and then it will automatically replicate this employee. Automatically, the number will come down from 60 to 59.
Okay.
So that is everything is that is automated.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so all these master data alerts can be easily, so it will act as a dual purpose. First thing is the payroll, a second thing is your replication validation will also happen.
Okay.
Two things at one shot. So
So,
this data is important for running payroll. Then it will automatically highlight this employee's master data and all that. Okay, this person has a problem in his info type 6 which we need to resolve. Then immediately you will come to know that out of this, all these are replication issues. And immediately
okay.
once you update or intimate the employees and tell people that this many people are there, if they update immediately, everything gets automated, everything gets replicated, and the alerts will eventually come down.
Okay.
And this is one good advantage, because every time you will have like some or the other master data which will be missing.
Yes, yeah. So these simple things will be taken care automatically.
Yes, automatically it will take care of it.
Okay.
Next is the monitor the statistics of issues and key performance indicators over time. So apart from alerts, it also has a KPIs. For
Okay.
example, KPI means what? It's like a graphical uh, illustration of how your payroll is performing.
Okay.
Example, let's say I have paid this month. Let's say I have 5,000 employees in my company, and I paid gross amount of $5 million this pay period for against the salaries. Okay, it will compare. Let's say you have a KPI to measure what has happened between last pay period and this pay period. Counts, basically counts. Let's say I paid last month $5 million, and this month I'm paying $9 million.
Okay.
Then what does it mean? Either you got some people promoted, or could be that you have new employees which have joined, which increased your salaries or the total net for that company from 5 to 9. That KPI will be given. Also it can tell you how your payroll is.
Okay.
It's like a statistics basically.
Okay.
And then with this you are able to complete everything on time with ease. You don't have to run so many transactions, sit overnight to find out what employees pay should be, especially when it comes to hourly and the salaried, right? Hourly requires your timesheet data, and whereas salary doesn't require that.
Yeah.
All these issues can be easily rectified and identified by payroll control center.
Okay.
So what you get ultimately is your payroll is on time, and nobody gets to spend more time on processing, regular processing.
Okay.
So that is the payroll control center introduction. Any questions you have on this?
No, I'm clear.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. So it's just brief illustration. So your what is your payroll So there are different roles within payroll control center. Like I said, right, there is a payroll process manager. He is supposed to be responsible for the overall process, ensure that it is correct, distributes the tickets to other admins, and sign off on the payroll steps. So his job is to make sure that the payroll is running smooth and it is accurate every time,
Okay.
right? And whatever the alerts comes, he is distributing to other payroll teams. So we have different payroll teams within payroll control center. Somebody would be only looking at the gross payroll. Somebody
Okay.
would be looking into the benefits, right? And somebody would
Yeah.
be looking into taxes and time and employee HR, all this. You have multiple teams. So
Okay.
each team has its responsibility to make sure their alerts, whatever been assigned to them, is accounted for.
Okay.
If someone is getting more pay, it's okay to get more pay. You could be getting bonus, it could be getting retro, you could be getting anything, but everything should be accounted for.
Okay.
So that is why your payroll process manager is the biggest role you have, and these
Okay.
are the more of analyst roles, where each team is assigned like a team lead, and there is a set of people under working under him to resolve each team alerts.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So what ultimately this payroll process manager will get overview is from these teams how they are performing real time.
Okay. One question, Prashant, regarding this
Yeah,
KPIs. So they
yeah.
monitor the statistics of the issues, means so there'll be any we need to how to streamline it. There'll be a manual process, or that will also be a automated process.
So KPI is just your awareness. It is not something which has to be taken, like action has to be taken for that.
Oh, okay, okay,
It
yeah.
is graphical, it is statistics, it is showing how much, why did I pay $9 million compared to $5 million? So it will give you like if you design that KPI, you can also design your own KPI. So in that KPI you can mention like the reason, or you can put like some figures like why 5 million to 9 million. You can have another KPI which says that additions or recent additions to
Okay.
your company, like from 5,000 it became 5,010 or 5,050. 50 employees got
Okay.
added. That's why my pay, my liabilities became a little more this pay period.
Okay.
So it is more of an overview of statistics of how your company is paying out, or your company is paying out your employees.
Oh, okay. The whole company's payout.
Yes, yes, whole
Okay.
companies. Yes, correct. Then you can also have like how many taxes paid compared to last period, or you can design your own KPI, whatever is helpful for you to vision your company. You can design
Okay.
that many KPIs. You can add
Okay.
like a number of people added from last period to this period. How many people got added? How many got
Oh,
terminated? How
all of
many?
that also will be there.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, you have to design
What
it.
is the strength in January? What is the
Yes.
strength in February? All
Yes.
of that.
Correct. Correct. You can design your KPI also in that way. Like how many employees were there in January? How many in February? How many in March compared to last period? Or compared to 4 periods also you can do it.
Okay.
That will help you, right? Like how many people got added. Okay, my now
Huh, how
strength
many
is
people
50,
got added and all of that? Yeah, yeah.
and that will match up your gross also.
Yes. Yeah.
How much company is paying for salaries,
Yeah.
correct? So that is the biggest advantage. The second thing is you have see it is very intuitive. Like you just have to, like, it's like a regular app, a ticketing tool. Basically, you can click on to get all the details of that employee. You don't have to specifically go for any other outside of payroll control center to find out the details. You can fill in the details, like you have which payroll area belongs to, company code, employee group, subgroup, cost center, everything can, you can put whatever the information you can put in that.
Okay.
Not only root cause, you can also devise a solution. Let's say I have a employee is missing bank details, and I will definitely have a portlet link embedded
Okay.
in the alert, saying that okay, person is missing bank details, and somebody will click on to that link. It will directly take it to your EC portlet payment details to maintain the data.
Okay.
And your log will be also the replication log also will be displayed, so you don't have to go to SLG1 to find out.
Okay.
So that's the biggest advantage of payroll control center. It gives you the accountability, what is what, and you will not go wrong in this step,
Okay.
because you know the issues, what issues will happen.
What issues will come? Okay.
Yes, if you run three to four periods, you will come to know most happening issues, like most recurring issues.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then you can already tell your or employee or your manager that this is going to come in pay period, so you just better inform employees to maintain the data ahead of time or something like that. So I just a snapshot of how it looks like. So you see all these tabs here,
Yeah. Manage
my
policies.
processes, my alerts, and all this. This is coming from EC. So in EC, you can enable this payroll control center. As I said, there is an integration between EC and payroll control center. So
Okay.
the data will be
Actually,
from
one
EC.
doubt.
Yeah.
We have something called, my client has a requirement called enable manage configuration. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
When we did that, when we run that, it is showing a weird error that the connection is not enabled or something. So, is that something we should do in the ECP system as well?
EC. We need to find out from the logs what is connection. So in EC, you have to integrate your payroll control center. For that to happen, EC and EC connection should be established. So to enable this payroll, so you should have this payroll tab in your EC.
Huh, that is coming. This enable manage configuration is also coming. But when I go
Then you have
inside
to
that,
check in ECP. In ECP, you have to
yeah,
check whether that service is active or not.
uh, for that we need to enable some thing,
Services.
services.
The
Yeah.
technical. Yes, a technical person will understand that. Like you have to go to SICF transaction and then use that services. See that service is already active.
Enabled or not. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that is right. So this is a little bit older screenshot, but you now you have like last quarter they introduced a lot of managed configuration and all this design will happen in one place itself. Some
Okay.
so basically each tab has its own responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
So as I said, the topics which we have for payroll control center is first is we have to understand declustering. What is
Mm-hmm.
declustering? Second thing is how to integrate to employee central PCC. What do we need? Third is the backend configuration. There are certain steps which we need to take so that this data is visible into the front end. Right, front
Okay.
end will not have all the configuration. So certain because payroll control center source system is still ECP. The data is
Okay.
derived from ECP, but payroll control center is a framework. Basically, it's not a place to store it, but it's a framework used to run the payroll. So the
Okay.
data still has to come from ECP.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so there is one set of backend configuration which we need to do, and there is a set of front end configuration which we need to do.
Okay.
So backend means you have to make sure that alerts are enabled and all that declustering tools are enabled. There is a series of steps which we need to see that that backend configuration is configured or not.
Okay.
Similarly, to run the payroll control center, you need to do some front end configuration as well.
Okay. Putting the steps and all, adding the month, all
Yes,
of that. Yeah.
correct, correct, correct. Next is the team monitoring. As I said, your simulation in HCM is called as team monitoring in PCC.
Okay.
Only difference is team monitoring stores your results.
Okay.
Okay. Next is it can also run production payroll also.
Okay.
Not only team monitoring or simulation, the PCC can also run production payroll. And after production, it can also run post payroll also.
Yeah, everything it can run, right? Till the DME,
Everything,
all the
basically
till
everything it
backs
can
it
run.
can run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is not just that after you get accustomed to PCC, you will not even go to ECP.
Yeah.
So that is the beauty of PCC because everything is embedded. You don't users, you don't have to explain them what is a driver program, what is a posting program, or what is a bank transfer program, what is DME. You don't have to explain them. You just have to configure them and give it to them. They will run it and they will monitor it.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And everything is accountable. So it is not that I'll run a step and leave it. It will give you
Uh-huh.
the same kind of output what an ECP gives. So it is nothing like not understandable. Like you can still easily grasp what is going on.
Okay.
So we will go through declustering, then integration, backend, front end configuration, then team monitoring, then production payroll and post payroll. So once you configure this, and we have to make sure that when you run team monitoring and resolve the defects, you have to close this process before you start the production process.
Okay.
You have to make sure that. Let's say you
Uh-huh.
started the first period of 2024 after exiting December 31st. You can run directly from first January. You can start running team monitoring.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say your production payroll is 31st of Jan or something like 22nd or 23rd of Jan.
Uh-huh.
From 1st January to 22nd January, you can run team monitoring and resolve all the defects.
Okay. Okay.
And
And then
what will happen is you
they can close payroll and then they can start running payroll.
Yes, they can close this team monitoring and then they can run
Okay.
directly the production payroll because now in production payroll you will not get that many defects because you will resolve most of them here itself.
Oh, so on the day of before the running payroll, all these alerts and everything should be resolved by using the team
Yes,
monitoring.
exactly. But after resolution, you will have to make sure that you close this process.
Okay.
That is most important because this cannot be running.
So this PCC and HANA PCC, everything is same, right?
Everything is same. Everything is same. It's just that they are telling based on the landscape. So S4 HANA is more of a like you have a S4 HANA system which is source data is EC, but your HANA is your is replacing your
ECP.
HC HCM basically.
Huh.
HANA is different and ECP is different. ECP is a cloud payroll, which is
Okay.
integrated directly into success factors.
Yes. Yeah.
But HANA is not, it still is like an SAP HCM. It would act as a hybrid. So your EC is your source data, the employee data, but your HANA system is not on cloud unless you have licensed on HANA cloud-based edition. But if it is an on-premise S4 HANA, then it is a hybrid system.
Hybrid system with a on-prem payroll.
Yes. So hybrid system is means is your EC source data, but your HANA system is not tightly integrated into SF. It is outside of SF.
Oh, okay.
Then what will happen is it is something like your EC replication will be happening differently. It won't be P2P.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it,
So
it is
different
not a
landscape.
on-prem system also, but it is not a ECP system also. It is a
Yes,
standalone system.
exactly. So if it is an ECP system, means that system is already part of the SF cloud.
Yeah, because we do all code value mapping, everything will happen.
Yes.
But in HANA,
But
all of this will not be done.
yes, it is. Then we call it as a BIB, and you have to take that P2P will not apply over there.
Okay.
Then you will have something called Business Integration Builder, which is BIB.
Okay.
That means your P2P will not work there, and you have to do everything like. Uh, uh, so one difference between ECP and hybrid is that in ECP you don't have that org assignment.
Yeah, we don't have OM data.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
basically, you don't have relationships, OM relationships like A to B, B to A. All this is not there. Even though you
Nothing
have
is there.
text,
But all
yes,
these are maintained in a ECC system
EC.
separately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In EC, you will be maintaining all the relationships going forward for a
Huh.
cloud. But
Oh,
you
okay.
you still need an org and position and job, right? Sometimes you run reports in ECP also. So what will happen is there is a separate program apart from P2P. You might have heard of this job and position replication before you run the P2P. So there
During
is a separate
hiring?
no, no, not hiring. Let's say you are Infotype 1, you are aware, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In Infotype 1, you have three fields: org unit, position, and
Yes.
job,
Yeah. Job. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So P2P will not replicate until that job exists in ECP, right?
Yeah, correct. But now in
So
the live, in the ideal world in ECP, we don't have that, right? Position will be filled with
yes,
999, all the jobs will be filled as zero.
yes, that is fine. It depends. So some clients, what will say is, I want to also, they will have some integration which sends some sort of data from ECP also, like some part, like
Oh, for reporting
20%,
purpose, they will want to have the data here
correct.
as well. Okay.
But it won't create relationships. It just brings in the position text from EC.
Oh, okay. But all
It
the
won't have like
relationships, all the OM data will happen in ECC only, right?
EC, not ECP.
There's something, a system called ECC for us.
No, no, no.
That is a
So two different
on-prem
things.
system.
Two different things. Two different things. Okay. One
Huh.
is ECP. It's a full
Huh.
cloud. EC to ECP is a full cloud system.
Full cloud system.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. There, what will happen in EC? Everything that relationships, that org structure will be there in EC, not ECP.
Okay. Hmm.
What we are bringing from EC is only the text, titles of the text or the job
Okay,
text we are bringing.
okay. Okay, but
Okay.
what I am telling is, I agree with you. But here in our client, what we have is a separate on-prem system called ECC, not
So
ECP.
they are doing HR transformation. They are doing HR transformation.
HR transformation into that system,
Ah,
and there all the finance data is also moving there. So the finance will
exactly.
be FICO will happen in that system, not here.
Okay. So they have a separate finance system. From there, you will have cost centers and bank master and
All
vendor
of that.
master
Yeah.
coming to EC and then ECP also, both ways.
Yes, ECC and ECP also. Yeah.
But your org will not come from there. Your org will still come from EC.
Yes, yeah.
Only these three, like bank master, cost center master, vendor master, will come from that external system, ECC system, because there it is more related to finance than HR.
Yes, it is more related to finance than HR. Correct.
So they have a different box over there. But to integrate into EC and ECP, then they will have a separate replication or separate integration, a standard integration, basically SAP.
Standard integrations.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
So
the
basically, you are having an
jobs that are
S4
running
finance.
every day, interfaces and all of that. Yeah.
So what will happen is posting will happen in ECP, but the document, the finance document will get transferred to that S4 finance system.
Yes, all the symbolic and GL accounting,
Yeah,
all of that will happen in the finance system.
we have two types of accounting. Two types of posting. One is HR posting and finance posting.
Huh.
Okay.
HR posting will
So
happen in our
HR,
system. Finance posting will happen in that system.
yes, that's right. So you are basically right, posting document, creation of posting document, release and transfer. Three things will happen.
Yes. Yeah.
So the release and creation will happen in ECB. The transfer will happen with the documents will go to finance and it will fill those BSEC, BSET table, all those FI tables.
Oh, okay.
That is the difference actually. So
Yeah,
financial reporting will happen
because
there,
when
but
we
the
see in PCPO, when I run the posting and when client runs the posting, when I see it will not be in document transferred state. It will just be in the document created state.
correct.
I think in the
So
if I see in the ECC system, it will be in the document transferred state. I think it will be.
yes. So what is happening is it is only creating it. The release and transfer, what will do is it will go to the finance system and creates the data there via iDocs.
Huh.
So really
Yeah.
creation will happen here. Creation is done. Once you release and transfer, what will happen is it will change to that status 50 or 40. Once that
Huh.
happens, that document will not be stored in ECP. The document will be in release state in ECP, but the actual document will be transferred to your finance system
Okay.
through iDocs, basically.
Through iDocs. Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, cost center replication also, it is not, EC is not the source. So EC and cost centers, there is a separate integration through CPI, and there is another integration from ECP to ECC. That another IDOC situation is there also.
Yes. Yeah.
So similarly, bank master also.
Hmm. Both.
And third
Yes.
thing is vendor master also. Vendors also, there will be vendor master also.
Mm-hmm.
So all this will happen EC and ECP simultaneously. Like there are two integrations, one for specifically for EC, one
Mm-hmm.
specifically for ECP.
Yeah.
So that is difference. But in if you go into hybrid, you can still have org relationships.
Okay. The HANA system.
Correct. So let's say you are replicating employee data from EC to your on-prem. On-prem, anyways, the support will stop in 2027. So basically,
Okay.
you will have either you have to go to S4 HCM or either you
Okay.
have to go to ECP.
Okay.
So if the client chooses, okay, I have 10 different other modules apart from
Mm-hmm.
HCM, then they will go for S4.
Okay.
If they just have, they just want a separate box for HR, then they will go for ECP.
ECP. What if they have
I mean,
all the
depends.
MMSD, all many modules? Means they'll prefer S4. Okay.
They'll prefer because it's like why do you want to maintain two systems for?
Huh. For payroll, separate ECP and others
Yeah, yeah,
S4Y.
exactly. So it's advisable that if the company is more on like multiple modules, they have it on SAP, then either they can take ECP is fine, and depends on totally their landscape also how they want to do it.
Okay. Mhm.
They can either go for ECP, they want to separate HCM out also, they can go, or else they can tightly integrate everything into a single box also.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. But this H4 system will the payroll will run like a HCM on
Yeah,
prem system only, right?
totally,
Back
totally.
end only. There's no front end work.
Yeah, so if you implement PCC, then again there is a separate thing.
Oh, with HCM with S4 also we can do
Yes,
PCC.
yes, because PCC is an add-on. It is not a specific to ECP.
Oh, like a switch we put on to whatever system
Yeah,
we want.
it's an add-on. So if you have that add-on, every by default you will have this add-on. If you configure, you can configure in HCM, you can configure in S4, you can configure in ECP. Everywhere you can do it. But
Okay.
in
But
S4, you will
uh-huh.
either go for Fiori based tiles rather than integrated directly in EC. You can do that as well, or you can also have Fiori based tool as well.
What is that? Fury based tiles, Fury based
So
tools.
Fiori means basically you have you seen this SAP ticketing tool, like that there will be tiles, right, for each one.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like that also you can do it,
Okay.
or you can directly integrate into EC. There is an integration available that you can also integrate it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make sure that firewall settings are taken care of.
Okay, all the security and all of that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, security have to take. But in ECP, there is no such boundaries. You can directly integrate because it's in the same data center,
Environment.
same, yes,
Huh.
on the same cloud.
Yeah, but integrating EC and H4 system is a little bit complicated, right? Than the ECP
Different. It's a
system.
different or totally different. P2P will not work there.
Huh. BIB we have to use.
Yes, we have to do BIB and you have to migrate. Then you have to do OM separately and employee separately.
Oh, okay. Because we
Means
want all the data in a single system.
so if we don't know, right? In ECC, we can recommend that why do you want to go to ECC, S4? We can directly go for ECP if it is a separate out of, like you can do
Huh.
it in a single cloud. But if the client says no, 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 we want OM data also in S4, then there is no way you have to still implement that BIB and migrate the data.
Mhm. Migrate the data. Okay, okay. And there should all the finance, everything will happen in the S4 system only via
Correct.
iDocs and all of that. Okay, okay.
Yes, yes. Via ADOX, it will replication of cost center, bank master, vendor master. All this will happen through standard integration. Sometimes SAP doesn't give for all. Like cost center is standard, but bank master you have to enable that CPI flow.
Oh, okay.
It is not mandatory. It is an optional. So sometimes you have to customize those iFlows also in CPI to make sure your
Okay.
bank data is flowing.
Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Okay. Then it is a big one only, no? With the
Yeah,
S4
yeah.
system, it is a completely different thing.
So depends. Now, some clients what they'll say that okay, we'll maintain it manually. You don't need to replicate cost centers or bank masters
Oh,
because
okay.
if there is very minimal change happening in a
And
company related
there
to,
will not be any mashup screens also, no? Like we have in EC and ECP.
yeah. So in mashups also, when do they go for mashups? Is some data like tax data,
Tax. Yeah, yeah, tax. Yeah.
tax data
Oh,
you can have a mashup.
oh, there can be mashups between HANA and EC
Yes, yes.
as well.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
EC is a mashup. Mashups are configured in EC, not S4.
Oh, okay.
Mashups is something like a link which is given in your payroll information portlet. When you click
Haha.
that link, it will open up a ECP in a web GUI.
Okay, okay.
It's like a web intro. Web intro screen will be visible to you, and if you maintain that, it will go and store in ECP.
Yeah, that's what. Like that, can we do it in the HANA system also?
Yeah, yeah, but the configuration has to be done in EC with respect to HANA. Like so, user will not go into S4 HANA system. He will go into EC and he will click on that link. That will
Oh.
open up a web intro screen. There he
Uh-huh.
will maintain. When he saves that in that mashup, it will go and store in ECP or your backend HCM system.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So that
Okay.
is the difference. So mashups is completely configured in EC, not
Mm-hmm.
payroll
ECP.
system.
Okay. Okay. All
Right.
right.
So any questions?
No, no, I'm good. Yeah.
So basically, it's like a 15 to 20 hours we take. Generally, I take this each topic in detail. I'll
Mm-hmm.
take
Okay.
to understand. And if any questions or any queries on any issues or we can
Mm-hmm.
consider this session.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll be taking care of like in detail of each of this step basically.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And existing like custom one, if you want to build also, we
Mm-hmm.
can work it out.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Sai. Yeah,
Sorry, joined a little late, so I do not have your name. Can I have your name, please?
Prashant.
Srimati.
Yeah, Prashant, I was listening to your conversation with Srimati. Basically, wanted to know what are the prerequisites to take up this course. Hello, Prashant. Prashant, can you hear me?
Oh, looks he was out from the meeting. He should be there back 1 minute.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Prashant, can you
hi,
hear
sir.
me now?
Sorry. Yes, yes,
No
yes.
worries, no
Sorry, I
worries.
just got disconnected. All right, tell
No
me.
worries. I was asking what are the prerequisites to take up this course?
So, any functional background, like HCM functional background, you should have a payroll background, basically an end-to-end process background you should have. It will be easy for you to understand.
No, suppose I do not know the payroll paid. So you would be covering it for me, or you are expecting the attendee to first know how the
So,
payroll configuration details work.
payroll session, I don't take payroll session, but certainly you will need to know some of the payroll concepts like how to run payroll, what is a bank transfer or is a posting process, the end-to-end payroll basically I'm talking about.
Okay, so that is like a SAP SCM payroll is a
Prerequisite.
prerequisite. Okay,
Yes, yes. Otherwise you won't understand what I'll be talking.
okay. And secondly, when you are doing the actual training sessions, you will start
Mhm.
from an empty system and then configure it, or how is it? What is the approach that you take in your sessions?
So basically configuration will take time and it will waste everyone's time. So I have configured the system, but I'll explain you what I did in detail
Mhm. It's not like you'll take an
and
empty
help you out
box.
also. Yeah. I
Okay,
will help you out in your empty box also. Like if you have an empty box, we'll go through with that as well.
okay. And thirdly, with
But that will be
regards to,
taken, but will that will be taken only after I finish the whole training because I don't want to disrupt someone like someone else is
no,
also there, right? So what will happen is like it will be disrupted. So once the training is done, we'll take sessions how to configure each and every step. If you have an empty system, I'll help you out in configure that system as well.
okay. And thirdly, what are the options available if I'm a trainee under you? How do I get the hands-on? Do you provide me any system access, or how does it work?
System is different because an ECP system is difficult to come by. I have a demo system, but it is actually acquired by a client, so that system
Okay,
Uh,
availability is a problem. But I
we
think we
need
can
to
still.
purchase here if we require. We can purchase from SAP. I can help you out with that.
So,
Yeah.
but
So
ECP
basically,
system, see, I have learning hub access. I do not see ECP system as one of the available systems there.
With
Please,
learning up, I
fine.
don't think you will with PCP.
you will get EC, but ECP is a difficult to come by. Actually,
Yeah, that is
the
what I have
licensing.
seen. So I just wanted to understand: is there a way the hands-on could also be done? Because you are mentioning other bits also, right? The PTP and all. Would you be covering that point-to-point
P2P again,
integration?
there's this course is only designed for payroll control center, but if you want to also include P2P, that's a different one. That's I have to customize the course accordingly then.
Okay, fine, fine. I got you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prashant. That was it from my end. Thanks for the clarifications and the session.
Sure, no problem. I think, yeah, I think you joined in middle, right? You might not get the entirety because I think Srimati is already a functional consultant, so she already knew some of the
Yeah, I got
concepts.
most of your conversation because I'm also a techno-functional. So I know
Okay.
bits and pieces on the payroll side. I know quite a bit on the technical side. So I was able to follow your conversation, even though I joined
Okay.
in between.
Okay. So your basically background is technical or a functional?
I'm basically technical, but nowadays I'm doing Employee Central, and I also handle integrations between EC and ECP and third-party
Hmm.
systems.
Okay.
So I could relate whatever you guys were discussing.
So basically you're ABAP HR, right? Basically, I'm saying
ABAP
core.
HR and now working more on the Employee Central side
Okay.
with core
Okay.
focus on
Okay.
payroll interfaces. Yeah.
So basically, okay. So you're basically a jack of all trades, I can say in the short.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to gain expertise on the payroll side. Haven't done any implementation on payroll as such, but yes, that's right. I'm trying to get know
Yeah.
many things, but trying to get expertise into payroll area.
Sure, sure, sure. No problem. So replication payroll control center is like a whenever we go for cloud, these two things are the most important things. First is
Yeah,
the replication. Second thing is the PCC. But to start with that, functional basically they have to first set up a org structure and all that. The basic payroll setup is the knowledge which we like is a prerequisite to understand everything like from what I will discuss.
yeah,
So
and many customers, how is it? They because the PCC even for a customer's organization to use it involves some amount of learning curve, right, and getting
yes, yes,
adapted to it.
yes,
So do they
exactly.
adopt it, or they, since they are comfortable using the GUI screens, they again go to
Hmm.
ECP login and do the old payroll
No, no,
logging
no.
03? How is it adoption wise?
So it's different thing. Like if it is a long time customer, like they are working in SAP for like more than 10 years. It's difficult
Okay.
for them to convince okay to use payroll control center, but they definitely come by because of the benefits which PCC offers. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if it is a new client, they'll immediately accept seeing the beauty in
Right.
running the payroll, the ease of learning. This is easy. But for a long time customer who is already in SAP, you cannot tell them like they'll say, okay, we are used to it, then we'll not go with. I have a customer in spite of displaying, demoing PCC, they don't use that and they still use process model to process their payroll,
Oh
which is
God.
fine
So
because they are used to it.
you configured it for them, but they don't use it at all.
They don't use they use just the team monitoring, which is just basically to find the issues, and then the regular payroll they still use process model because they
Right.
have certain customizations which PCC cannot offer. Lot of customization. I mean,
Understood.
they
I got
unnecessarily
it.
make things complicated instead of running simple.
Yeah. Fine. Fine.
But for
Thanks.
for
Thanks for
new
your time, Prashant.
customers, but
I
for new
understood.
customers who are coming from PeopleSoft or some Oracle or something, it's easy
Greenfield for
for them.
Greenfield it is easy. What you are saying is easy.
Yes,
For Greenfield projects
correct,
is
correct,
easy because they don't carry any baggage. Whereas
correct,
for
correct.
existing customers, you need a lot of convincing.
Exactly. A lot of convincing. Even in the end, they can simply discard your idea also. So
Effort goes away. Okay, fine, fine.
yeah.
That's how it is. No worries. Thanks,
Thank
man.
you,
Thanks
sir.
for your time. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So we'll
Okay.
end this session, and you can contact Sai, and then
Yeah.
maybe we can
Yeah.
set up some more
Yeah.
time
I'll touch
for
base
this.
with him. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Thank
Thanks.
you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Sign team. Bye.
Thank you, yes.